went back to school, and brand new baby, 2-week-old baby, no child support, working full-time during the day and going to school at night. And my classmates were like, how are you doing this? I don't know.
As soon as I was old enough to work at 16, I was working and buying my own school clothes and stuff like that. So, I mean, pretty much I had to work for everything I got.
Well, I could have easily been a welfare mother. I could have easily said, been a victim and said, I expect other people to take care of me.
Because they didn't see the past that I lived before. They didn't see, the Juan that was, drug addict and all that. They didn't see that in me. They just saw the potential.
I'm a Holy Spirit sister, and our mission is to bring the compassion of Christ to the poor.
Education was one of those things that my parents told me. If that's something you want to do, you gotta pursue it, yourself, and you know what I mean.
And while compassion is a nice word, compassion is to bring them jobs, economic development, homes, transportation, health care for their children. That's what compassion is.
Well, I was kind of in on the beginning. I had a relationship with Cops and Metro Alliance that not every businessman had.
The first big issue that my superior brought up to me was that I would be the liaison with Cops and Metro Alliance. And so I dutifully did what she asked me, and first big action we had was getting money from the city for Project Quest. So I was advised by the Project Quest leaders to come down to City Hall and be part of an action where we were asking the city for $2 million. Judge Wolf was the mayor at that time, and I will never forget this. There were 800 people in front of City Hall. There was one of the leaders, an African-American man. He was just brilliant. He was saying, if we can invest in Shamu, we can invest in the people. SeaWorld had just opened. If we can educate Shamu, we can educate the people. Please invest in the people. And Cops and Metro were shouting, invest in us, invest in us.
One of the things that spawned Project Quest was the closure of the Levi Strauss plant in San Antonio, out on the west side of San Antonio. And I believe they had 1,000 people working there, and they closed it all the way. I think they moved the jobs to a foreign country.
And what Project Quest did was provide a vehicle for creating a different kind of system.
Project Quest has been a success from the beginning because it is fundamentally sound. And it's fundamentally sound because those in Cops and Metro understood the problem, found a workable solution that made sense to everyone.
There has to be this one-shop shopping dimension so that there isn't the kind of fragmentation of services that it used to exist, that there has to be some organized system where a person can go one place and get all of his or her needs taken care of from the beginning.
They did things that ordinary employment agencies have difficulty doing, and that is penetrate the community, get the confidence of the community, and use community people to help operate the project.
And they enlisted my help and asked me to talk to others in the business community. At the same time, they were out with their contacts, which they had established, like the ones with me, and of talking themselves to the business community. So I think this added some real credibility both to my approach and to their approach.
They needed some business people on their board, and one thing led to another, and I started out as chairman of the board.
They looked at it as an economic development issue through training people to upgrade their skills for better paying jobs. They brought the pressure. They created the little tension in the community. Timing in the whole Project Quest was very important. A number of elements had to come together. The business community had to come together, and I called on 20 different businesses along with Cops and Metro members. The governor had to be at the table, and we had to be at the table.
At the end, Judge Wolf saw the light, and I saw the light. I realized there was a better way to raise funds than selling tacos and candles. And he saw the city could afford job training.
We needed not minimum wage jobs and the typical, what you call the flipping hamburger type jobs. We needed jobs that paid a reasonable family. We always talked about a family wage.
The before I knew about Project Quest, I was working in fast food, working pretty much paycheck to paycheck. Didn't really have a savings account, didn't have any medical insurance, anything like that, no kind of benefits for myself, pretty much just working just to pay bills, pretty much just to survive,
The Getting America Back to Work conference was held in Washington, D.C. in 1994. And our first graduate, Cynthia Scott, attended that conference. It was a panel held by the Department of Labor to discuss welfare to work programs.
I think that I was probably chosen to speak with him on that panel because I went from welfare to work. And I think that's his Reemployment Act. That's what it's about, putting people back to work. My dream my whole life was to be a nurse. I thought this is my last chance. If I don't get into Quest, get into school, I'm never going to be able to finish nursing school.
And somebody heard about Quest. It was brand new, and they sent me to the Women's Center. I was going to San Antonio College.
I just said to myself, this might be my last chance that I have in life because I'm not getting any younger, so.
We think you're a good candidate and we can help you. So they helped me with tuition and books.
They pretty much coached me the whole way, what I had to do.
The interview went fine. They told me to take my welding test the following day.
I literally would hold her and read my textbooks out loud to her as if they were bedtime stories.
And I passed it. So, and then from there on, I got hired the next day.
People who come to Project Quest don't drop out. Because somebody, when they begin to get discouraged, when it gets difficult, somebody holds their hands and carries them over the bridge.
There were days when I just thought I can't do this anymore, and they would help emotionally and just be there for me.
You could see, how they had a love for, students, and they had a passion for people who wanted to make a better life for themselves.
That's been 4 months ago, and 2 months later, after I got hired, they moved me one more step because now I'm a fitter.
The difference in the quality of the job when they get out is just night and day.
And I talked to them one day, and they told me that I was one of the best new hires that they had. Everybody that came in the same time when I came in, they're gone.
This week, I took care of one of my favorite nursing instructors that pinned me when I graduated from SAC. She came in for surgery. She was scared to death. She said when she saw me, she knew that she was going to be in just fine.
And sometimes I'm there even before the supervisors are there at work, and I like it because they see that.
And my ultimate goal, I would love to do air life for the city of San Antonio, work in emergency medicine, and help save lives in that aspect.
I love being a nurse. I love it more. I love it more every day.
And some people are doing 3 and 4 menial jobs or poor paying jobs. Quest is the answer to that.
I had a lot of doors slammed in my face, because of my past, but Project Quest opened those doors.
What's the future? Well, if we look back at the vision that Mr. Cheever, Mr. Frost, Ernesto Cortez, Judge Wolf had, we carry that same vision with us, that long-term training is the best way to move people forward into living wage jobs. A lot of investment has been put in Project Quest, both financial and sweat equity, from the cops and metro leaders especially. And we are going to bring that same energy to the future.
Texas has been hailed by many economists and others in the United States because of how well it has done during this downturn. And it has done very well. It has a lot to be proud of. And a city like San Antonio has done particularly well. We've been able to accomplish that as a community, not because people separate or they cast aspersions on any other group, but because people work together. People of different backgrounds, of different faiths, of different walks of life are able to work well together, to live well together, to commonly pursue the American dream. And that's how you get a lot of the success that Texas has had and that San Antonio has had.
And now I'm grateful that I can help back. I have been given financially to help Project Quest, to help them go pay it forward.
I'm gonna give back to my community just with the same love and compassion that they gave me.
That up to this time, Project Quest has had the results. Project Quest has had the vision. Project Quest knows about workforce development. Project Quest has relationships that are absolutely fabulous in this city, the business, the college. So that whatever comes, we know by our experience. 20 years ago, it was a vision.
They didn't know what Project Quest was until they saw my graduation ceremony, and my little kid was, man, he said that tears came out of his eyes. He's barely 10 years old. And now everything he comes out of his mouth is Project Quest this, Project Quest that.
This is the very best time to have a celebration because we absolutely need to get reinvigorated. This community needs this. This country needs job training. It needs economic development. We must continue to do this, and we must continue to get the funding to do this. And we're grateful to this city, this mayor, who sees the need at this time for economic development.